Hello, I'm going to do another focused video on request from my lovely cousin Scarlett Lux. She asked about brows, so I'm going to show you my classic brow routine. I know brows go through different trends, but this is one that has just seen me through the last 15 years. You can easily change the products, but it will just give you a rough idea of the technique I use for filling out brows, giving definition but kind of trying to keep them a little bit soft as well. I hope you enjoy, and here we go. There is a few basic rules when it comes to brows. In terms of where they should start is approximately where your eyes start. And I try not to over pluck my brows. I just try and let them be free because I was a kid of the 90s, so I did go a bit mad. With your arch, follow your nose from there and go through like the middle of your pupil, and you can sort of see where it should naturally arch to the corner of your eye, then you can roughly see where it should end. But I would just resist too much plucking. I pluck out my monobrow because I don't think I can get away with that look, though some people can work it. Don't worry if you don't have my eyebrow colour, because you can just alter the colour. A rough rule of thumb is if you have blonde hair, you go 2 shades darker, and if you have brown hair, sometimes they used to say 2 shades lighter, but it depends on the kind of brow, whether you're going for a natural brow or whether you like a nice dramatic one. Comb your brow hairs up, especially if you want to create a fuller brow. Helps you determine how thick you can get away with. I like to use eyeshadows, kind of softly fill them out. I tend to go for a kind of taupey ashy colour. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow palette, and this is actually what I use in my kit a lot because you've got a beautiful variety that's going to work with any hair colour. On a day-to-day basis as well, I just kind of grab any palette that's matte, obviously. Like this was like a Makeup Revolution beaten up old one, and it's like Flawless 3. You can see the worn out shade. The deeper shade of the taupe is a Salon Services 412, an angle brush. Now if you want it more dramatic, you can wet the brush, a fixing spray or a spit if you're not using it on anyone else. I feel like I haven't got loads of space, so I don't like to take them too much further down, giving my face a little lift. Just roughly shade on that area just above the brows, just to kind of pull my eye up. Angle brush will do. I like this one just because it's a bit bigger, so if you're in a rush. My brows really grow down, so as much as I can get away with, I will try and just lift that tail end a little bit if I can. Obviously I don't want too much of a gap between them. If you had the time, you could kind of block out that tail bit and give yourself that fox eye lift. But under here, you want to keep this area a little bit more fluffy usually, if you don't want it to be too harsh, if you're going slightly more natural with your brow. To create a little bit of extra definition, you could always leave it like this, but if you want a tiny bit more structure, go in with a brow pencil. I will use the NYX micro brow pencil in taupe, concentrating it on that sort of tail end of the brow. And don't worry if you mess it up or if you think you've gone too thick. We're going to go back with a bit of concealer afterwards, just around the edges. A bit of my usual Studio Finish concealer. This is NC20. It's it. Royal & Languickel Silk Pro in short flat liner. So you can often see those sort of synthetic. Put a little bit of concealer. I like the cream one just because I feel like I get a bit more control. It's not going to drip down into my brows. And it's not so wet that it will kind of make the colour bleed. And making sure I haven't got too carried away with trying to create thickness. Tuck it in and make sure I haven't gone too long on the tail end. Now last but not least in this process is to use a little bit of clear brow set. I am using the NYX Control Freak. We'll do a tutorial where you use more like trying the soap brow and things for a slightly more dramatic brow. Let's just go every day. It seems like a step you can miss out, but I always find the finishing touch, because you can take off a little bit of the excess product if you want it to look a bit softer. You can make sure that all the hairs are really set into place like your hairspray, and you can make sure they're lifted into that brow, creating a bit more texture as well. If you made it through to the end, thank you for watching, and please leave a comment if there is something else you want to see, if there's a more focused video, or let me know if the story version is better so you can kind of skip through my waffling. I understand that I can go on a bit. I hope you enjoy. See you soon. Bye.